Hello, everyone. Hey, what's going on? I'm so excited to hang out with you. Hello, my name is Andrew Hockrattle. You can just call me Hawk, H-O-C-H, and I will be your guide and mentor over the next, I think, 7 days now, as we explore Adobe Illustrator. Hello to everyone in chat, Valdair, Jan. I think, Jan, you said it was your first day. Welcome. Hopefully the audio is better today. I've been working on it, trying to get things a little more tightened up. So if I'm too loud, too quiet, things get weird, let me know in chat. You'll see my head doing this a lot. Chat's over there, camera 2's over there, and you all are right here in my heart because I love you. So if this is your first time joining, welcome to the stream. This is not the only place that you can get plugged in. You can also go right here, bit.ly/AI Discord, get connected with us and chat. You can post your work in there. You can come in, post your portfolio. I'll give you feedback. I'll be in there making bad animal puns. And before each stream, usually I'll drop a little prompt going into the stream. So I saw a couple people talking about it. Today's prompt that I put in our Discord was we are working on a design safari, and today we are making badges in Adobe Illustrator. And so we will be making a badge, but we needed a name for our safari company. So if you weren't in Discord, 1, get in Discord. 2, start thinking about the name for the safari. We're going to be pulling one from chat a little bit later once we get there. So Discord looks just like this. As you can see, people are posting some of their work in here. Yesterday, we worked on making animals out of simple shapes and leveraging the ellipse and the rectangle tools in Illustrator to make animals out of simple shapes, which is really fun. Hello from Long Beach. Andrew, hello. You're so close to me. Jordan, yes, I actually wore this shirt for a reason because today we were talking about typing on a path, and I figured why not actually wear the path? We will be walking along together. Great. So with that, I think you know what time it is. If you haven't tuned into one of my streams, 1, hello. 2, I like to do a little thing called infotainment where we have some entertainment, but also a lot of information, and a lot of information. So, and education. So we're going to hop into the infotainment part of our section. And I think that it's time to go on Design Safari. Andrew, take it away. We're here in the wilderness. We made it through the forest. You all probably heard all kinds of weird noises because I couldn't get my jacket on, my wilderness jacket, and everything was crashing down behind me. So if you heard that, it's the jungle. It's wild in this jungle. Welcome to our design safari. Thanks for that transition, Andrew. Hello, everyone. I'm Andrew. So today on Design Safari, we are going to be working with Type on a Path. Yesterday, we started working with simple shapes in Illustrator to communicate the idea of something. We talked about, there we go, let me get my Safari mic. We talked about being able to be designers that translate things from the real world into the digital realm. Illustrator is great for that because when we translate things for people to understand, a lot of times we're not making the actual thing, we're making something that reminds them of that thing. And so today, instead of making shapes that remind them of that thing, we're going to put together words that communicate that thing. But instead of just putting together words left to right, that's boring, we are going to be typing on a path. Now, this is one of my favorite things to do, and I'm just going to move some things around here real quick. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut. And if you've never watched one of my streams, this is one of my favorite things to do. We're going to cut to camera 2. Camera 2. And I'm still in the jungle here, which is fine. So on camera 2, we found that there are all these ants. We've completely taken over. And what we're going to do is I'm actually going to tell you and teach you a little bit about type on a path using ants. Now, it's an interesting fact that ants will follow a pen. So we have this pen here, and ants, if they're walking, will actually follow along whatever the ink path is that you draw down with a pen. So if you ever see a line of ants and you put down a sheet of paper, if you draw a line, ants will follow it, they'll stay inside it, and it's kind of cool. So as we do this, our ants are going to start to follow this path. Now, think of these ants as type, right? Each ant is, let's say, a letter. And as they follow this path, you'll see instead of walking in a straight line like ants might do, they're now following this path and starting to move along this path. Now, what's interesting is instead of working and following exactly that path, right? What if we could shift them to where they would only follow the inside of this path, or they would follow the outside of this path, right? That we could align them to where they are going along with this. Now, what if, this is where it gets a little bit weird, right? We're used to reading, if these ants are a letter, we're used to reading, right, left to right and just following along. So if these were letters, let's say that this is A-N-T with an exclamation, right? We are reading this way, which is great. But let's say that we make a circle, right? And our path is round. So let's say, again, we have our ants that are following the circle. And the problem now is these ants are going to get a little bit wonky if we do ant, right? If this orientation's following this path, then the letters get a little bit wonky. But we can fix that. So what I want you to do is we're going to hop into Illustrator. And again, imagine these ants as if they were letters. As we go through the lesson, think about these ants following that line. Instead of ants, we're going to be using letters. So what I want you to do is hop on over to Behance. And if you follow on behance.net/challenge/Illustrator, you can scroll down here and you can actually get all of our source files for today. The source file is going to be a artboard that has been set up for you. It is going to have all of the elements that you will need for today. It will also have the prompt on there for you so that you can follow along with everything that we're doing and make a awesome little badge. So let's do the thing and hop on over into Adobe Illustrator. I can't handle the puns. Yes, Marissa, that's great. So today, I always try to give you some advice and some help as we're working through things. Let me get my keyboard back over here. Oh, I hit the mic a couple times, so I apologize for that noise. So things are getting real wonky. You know, it's not a stream with me unless something goes wrong. There we go. So now we're in Illustrator. This is our source file. Hopefully you've downloaded it. Hopefully you're ready to work. And this is our prompt for today. Design a custom badge or a stamp using type on a path, using the type on a path tool. If you get discouraged during my challenges, I always like to have some encouragement. So today, stay on the trail. It can get dangerous in the wilderness, right? That's why I'm wearing the trail on me, because I'm here to help you walk through that trail. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to open our challenge from yesterday. This is our friend Milo that we made yesterday. If you've made a shape yesterday, great. If you haven't, that's totally fine. You don't need it for today. I'm just going to use him to kind of ground us a little bit in our badge. We're going to use him as a centerpiece for the badge that we're creating today. I'm just doing prep things, so you don't need to know what this is. Do not pay attention to the man behind the curtain. There we go. Now we have Milo. Now, yesterday, if you were building with us and using simple shapes, we're going to do the same thing today, but with type. So we're going to hop over here and we are going to grab the Ellipse Tool. Hotkey is just L. We're going to grab the Ellipse Tool and we are going to click and drag, and you'll see that it's pulling out this ellipse, and we'll hold Alt. Hold Alt, or I believe Option or the Apple key. And we're going to make this shape around Milo. I want it to be a little more like an oval, like an ellipse instead of a circle. And this is what we're going to be putting our type on. So again, imagine that this is the ink that the ants will be following as we type on it on the path. So we're going to make this and let go. And what we're going to do is come down here in the corner with the little arrows next to our stroke and fill, and we're going to change that to a stroke. This is not actually going to be a stroke. It's not going to be a line. We're just using it for reference. I'm going to go ahead and select both of these. You can just click and drag over both. Click on Milo, and then in our align panel up here, we are going to center it and then center. Now, sometimes when you center things digitally, they don't look right. And that's why you have to go in and optically center them. So we're going to kind of just use our eye, and we just selected that by clicking on it. And we're going to center it visually. That feels right. And here is where I'm going to need your help, chat. What is the name of our company? I need a 2-word name, and I need probably or 1 or 2-word name, and probably a 1 or 2-word tagline for us to put on this badge. I'm going to cough, so mute your mics. And we're back. So let me know what names you have, and let's start building this. So what I'm going to do is, now that I have my ellipse, I'm going to grab the type tool, which is just type the T over here, or easy enough on your keyboard, just hit the T button. And you'll notice if we hover over this ellipse, it's going to make into a circle, a T with a little circle in it. And that is going to be type inside. We don't want to do that, right? We don't want to trap the ants inside the circle. We want them to follow the line around the circle. So we're going to hold Alt, and it's going to change to that little wiggly, right? And as you can see those little dots on that wiggly line, again, imagine they're ants, and then you know that you have the right tool. So we're going to hold Alt or Option, and we are going to click, and that is going to put type along that path. Now, if you remember, right, we talked about those ants. These are little ants, and they are following along this path that we've made. Kind of cool, right? Koala Coalition. I love Koala Coalition. That's great. Colleen, I think that you are the winner. Koala Coalition. So now that we have selected and put this and made it into a type on a path, we're going to grab the type tool again, and we are going to click into this, and now you can see it's fully editable text. And I'm going to go ahead and select all by just Control A. I'm going to delete, and then I'm going to type in Koala Coalition, I think is what we're calling it, which is great. Now, again, we'll notice this is kind of wonky. It's a little bit weird, and that's because it is aligned to the center. Now, when we select this shape, you'll see these 2 lines and then this big line here. Now, these 2 lines are basically telling us where the ants start and where the ants stop, where our letters will go in between. So they're starting here, heading this direction. This is the center, and they will stop here. We have this center aligned, which means that it is aligned with this center point. So you can actually grab this the tall node, I guess it would be called. And as you click and drag, you will see, oh, it's getting a little bit wonky. There we go. You'll see that it will follow along on the path and change where it is aligning to. I'm not sure why it's getting a little bit wonky, but we'll work with it. We're going to put this at the top here, and we want to center it to Milo's face. So we've just clicked and dragged that around so that the center is right in the center of our shape. We are going to choose a different font here. And what we can do to choose your font is just Command T or Control T. It will pull up the character panel. Very, 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 very easy. And I'm going to choose Cubano. Now, if you don't have a icon, that's totally fine. If you don't want to follow these fonts, totally fine. Do whatever you want. There's no wrong answers. That's the great thing about design. And we're going to use Cubano just to work with type on a path. So as we make this larger, right, you can see how those ants are still staying on that line and following that line, regardless of how big or small they get. So what we actually want to do is, as we aligned, right, we align those ants to the inside or the outside of this line. We want them to follow exactly on this line so we can maintain that perfect curve and shape around our friend Milo. So you can come here and go to Type, Type on a Path, Type on a Path Options. And type on a path options, there's a bunch of options here, and you can play with these, totally try to break it and get super weird. But right now, what we're going to focus on is align to path. And in here, you can see that it's either aligning to the ascender, which was the top of a letter, the descender, which is the bottom of the letter, the center, which is the middle of the letter, or the baseline, which is basically what is set as the bottom of that font. We want to choose center because we want those letters to follow the exact center of our line. There we go. And now it's at the perfect center. So we're going to hit OK. And now, right, we have a nice little badge. It's starting to look like something. Milo's sitting there in the middle. We've got it kind of arched over. And we can still select this. And let's say that we wanted to change this to koala expedition. We can still come in and change that and type new text in there because it's just following that path. We also can select this and change the kerning over here, again, in your character panel to make it a little bit tighter, to bring it out a little bit wider. You can do all kinds of things. Yes, Colleen, those options are lifesavers. So now that we have the top part, I want to do the bottom part. What's a good tagline that we could do? I need like a 2-word tagline that we can do to put in here. And while you think of that, I'm just going to Command C to copy, and then I'm going to hold Command Shift V to paste in place. Now it looks like it's the same, but actually there are 2 copies of this. It has pasted it exactly in the same place so that we have that path, we have that type, and it's all still locked in. And again, we're just going to grab the center of this, and we want this one to be at the bottom. Sometimes it gets a little wonky, and I kind of just jiggle it, and it works somehow. So we are going to, let's just do Koala Coalition. Let's do expeditions. Expeditions. Let's do safari so people know what it is. There we go. Koala expeditions. Did I spell expeditions right? We can fix it once we get there. Let me know in chat. So we have now the top and the bottom of Milo. He's feeling a little bit off. So again, we're going to select him and just optically align. There we go. And now we have 2 versions of type on a path. This is looking really great. I'm loving it. So what I want to do now is I'm actually going to make a circle around the whole badge. And if we hit Command Y or Control Y, we'll go into outline mode to see all the outlines that we've been working with. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab the Ellipse Tool, just using L, and we're going to click and drag out, and I'm going to make just a very basic shape that feels like optically it is scaled around what these letters are. So there we go. I'm just adjusting it using these anchor points, and that feels about right. So I'm going to Command Y, come back into non-outline modes, and we are going to switch this again by using these little arrows into a stroke. I'm going to make this a little bit thicker by changing the stroke weight up here in the left. There we go. That's looking like something. And I want to add some little elements here. And we were talking about simple shapes yesterday. I didn't get to show you this, and I'm so excited to. Now, in the Shapes panel over here, if we click and hold and come down to the Star tool, if we want to add some triangles that are pointing in, what are triangles? Then 3 pointed stars, right? Interesting. So if you grab the Star tool and you click, you can set that you want 3 points on your star, and instead of being a star, it's going to make you a triangle, right? Really, really great little life hack there. So we're just going to scale this down using the Scale tool or S, drag this around to where we want it, and we're rotating it using the Rotate tool, which is R. Just going to kind of optically center that. And then again, click and drag holding Shift and Alt or Option, and then we are going to right-click, transform, reflect, and it's going to reflect it across that side. We did this yesterday too with the alignments to make sure that it is lined up. There we go. Now we have a couple minutes left, so let's drop in some regular type. If we just grab the Type tool over here by hitting T, we can click, and let's do since 1989. I'm gonna go ahead and shrink this again using the scale tool, which is S, and I'm just gonna drop this here. We're talking about positive and negative space a little bit later in the challenges. So if you want to learn about how to balance your badge, a rule of thumb is to just think of it as rivers. There always needs to be a river out from where the puddle starts. So there's a puddle here, but there's a river out. Let's go ahead and drop in 2 more to make sure that we are balanced. And we're going to put this safari in Melbourne, Australia. I'm going there in a couple weeks, so I'm kind of obsessed right now. I'm actually going to Sydney first, and we are just going to do AUS. There we go. So we have typed on a path. We have made this great little badge with our friend Milo here. And we have like 3 more minutes. So real quick, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to grab this, this shape that we have around the outside. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to paste it. And then I'm just going to scale it down again using S. And I want to get a little nameplate for Milo here. So again, we're just paying attention to where that curve is right here. And I'm going to, again, grab the type tool, hold Alt, and we're just going to put Milo's name down here. Let's make it a little bit smaller. And once you get the hang of it, it's very quick, very easy. Again, we're going to grab that node and just drag it right under Milo's face. There we go, our little friend Milo. So we're balanced, we've made a great little badge, and hopefully you guys can too. Now, when you make your badges, I want you definitely to post it on Behance. Now, posting it onto Behance is really great and really helpful because I will be able to see it. So when you go to Behance, make sure you post and tag AI challenge. Here's some challenges from yesterday. These are super fun. Love this dog. Love the cute little sea otter. So much fun. So post on Behance. Make sure you tag hashtag AI challenge. And I'll be looking at those. I'll be giving you guys some feedback. And again, if you haven't already, jump into our Discord. I'm going to cough again. Tried to warn you. Jump into our Discord. We'll be continuing the conversation immediately after this. Actually, I will be in there taking questions, reminding you guys if you had some trouble at all. Yes, Milo is from Kuala Lumpur. Nice. Thanks for joining us today. This was super, super fun. I will be back again tomorrow, same time, 2 p.m. And we have a second, so let's hop over. And tomorrow we will be talking about... See, I should know these things off the top of my head. Tomorrow, oh good, tomorrow we're building a logo, right? This is the #1 requested thing. The #1 requested thing that we have on these streams is to build a logo in Illustrator. So tomorrow we will be building a logo, semi-similar to today, but we're using a lot more abstract shapes to build a logo using shapes, using the Pathfinder tool so that you can make something for your business. You can make something for our fake safari. You can do whatever you want. The reason we're doing the design safari is to give you a context and some ideas. If you are in the challenge, you're working with your type on a path and you can't figure out what to do something safari themed. Hopefully it's just an easy way for you to get connected. Yes, Lynn, thanks for hanging out so much. I had a blast. Thank you all so much. Again, join our Discord, come hang out. Let's see what's happening in there now. Yes, a cute little bird. He's so cute. So we did simple shapes yesterday. These are some great ones. I can't wait to see the badges that you all will be creating. I'm about to hop over in Discord right now. So the party doesn't stop here. It starts in Discord. I will see you all tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye.